The first bill that we have before us here today is Mr. Ork, if you want to come on up to the witness chair, that might be helpful. And then, is anyone here from the sheriff's? Okay. All right, so what we have before us is a substitute to Senate Bill 222. This is LC 289383S. This substitute is something that we covered on Tuesday of this week in our committee meeting, and Vice Chairman Reeves was going to work on addressing some language concerns that we might have in order to ensure that all parties, or as many as possible, were in agreement as this was presented here today. So the operative parts of 222 include removing the commission that was, or council that was recommended in the original Senate language. It also includes language that, as we heard testimony, was recommended by Senator Albers. This has been requested by our police chiefs to address the uniform misdemeanor citation in really two areas. First of all, what the fingerprinting or identification requirement might be, which is covered now in lines 37 to 42. Also, in Section 5, that the GBI will be responsible for promulgating the uniform misdemeanor citation going forward. Sections 3 and 4 are Representative Silcock's bill language that would put the responsibility for depositions or the payment of depositions as to what payment is already required, or the process for which payment is already made or required, rather than the responsibility being given to PAC. And so that is that's really the substance of the bill. Be happy to answer any questions if there are any. I don't see any questions. Know that one of our members, several of our members have let me know that they're either on their way or are running late here today. So what maybe I'll do right now is ask Mr. Orr, you previously testified about the request from the police chiefs. Is that still their request that we consider this bill?
Yes, sir. We've agreed with the sheriffs, got them to agree on at bottom of line 39 of the latest version of the bill, was we used the language that the law enforcement agency that employs the officer who issued a citation under this subsection shall obtain or cause to be obtained fingerprints in accordance with 35-336, which basically that is just referring back to the state law that regulates officers being fingerprinted. That's the exact language of what the language is. And it not be necessarily decide when and solely upon anybody.
All right, very good. So there's agreement with the sheriffs on this?
Yes,
all right.
sir.
Representative Silcox.
So thank you for coming back, Mr. Harkin. Was just a quick question. So they were okay because it looks like it has changed. If the identity cannot be identified with a valid government-issued identification card, the accused shall not be released.
That is correct.
Okay.
And that's what practice is.
I was
anyway.
going to
If they
say,
don't-
because they always have the option of arrest, but
Yes.
this was
And
the
if there's question or if the person's not willing to participate, he's going to jail.
great.
So,
Great.
yeah.
I appreciate your help.
No,
Thank
Thank
you.
you for supporting.
All right, thank you. We are just pulling one additional member in so that we will be able to vote this out. And so what I'll do is, I hate to work to kill time like this, but Vice Chairman, will you just give us a summary of the compromise and the work that was done on 222 as is presented here?
I will. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me get my sea legs here for a second. So, we've gone around and around on figuring out the best way to solve the problem that has risen from the change in the law from last year. And we really put everybody in the room and bounced language back and forth and got to the result which is, I believe, adding lines 40 through 42. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's correct. All right. Well, thank you for your presentation. We now have before us Senate Bill 222. Seeing that there are no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to pass.
All right, there's a motion to pass Senate Committee Substitute Senate Bill 222 LC 289383S. Is there a second? All right. Any questions, discussion, or amendments? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, very good. It's on to rules. Thank you all very much. We're
Thank you,
adjourned.
sir.